boys and girls, it's Miss Matthew, your librarian. Today I'm going to read you a cute story that's called Katie's Rose, a tale of two late bloomers. And this is written by Karen Gedig Burnett. Katie's Rose. When Katie and her mother went for a jog, they stopped to talk to Grandma Rose. They talked about the garden and they talked about the weather. And they talked about Katie. Katie doesn't pay attention. She's always chasing butterflies. When Katie and her father took the baby for a stroll, they stopped to talk to Grandma Rose. They talked about the wind and they talked about the trees. And they talked about Katie. Katie's having trouble with school. She's not keeping up with her class. When Katie and her friends went for a ride, they stopped to talk to Grandma Rose. They talked about the park and they talked about their bikes. And they did flips and tricks, and Grandma Rose laughed and gave them cookies and punch. When Katie and her family went for a walk, they stopped to talk to Grandma Rose. They talked about the rain and they talked about the clouds. And Grandma Rose said, "Come, I want to show you something special in my garden." Grandma Rose walked past many beautiful flowers. Then she stopped. "And here's one," she said, as she reached out and cupped a new little rosebud in her hands. "These rosebuds are special," she said, "because inside each one is a flower that will bloom someday." "I can't make them bloom," said Grandma Rose. "I just water them and take care of them. They will bloom when they're ready, just like children." Katie's mother and father looked at each other. Then they all turned to watch Katie. Finally, her father said, "Well, we better get going." "I have some potted roses," said Grandma Rose. "Katie, would you like to take one home?" Katie nodded and slowly looked at the plants. Then she picked the perfect one, the plant that had one teeny bud. And Katie skipped all the way home. One rose blooms early, one rose blooms late. Which one will be beautiful? They both can be beautiful. One tree grows fast, one tree grows slow. Which one will be the best? There is no best. They're just different. One baby walks early, one baby walks late. Which one will grow up to run marathons? They both can. One child reads early, one child reads late. Which one will grow up to do wonderful things? They both can. "We all bloom at different times," said Grandma Rose. "Now use both of your hands to make a fist. Then open them to show how far you think you've bloomed." Life is not a contest. It doesn't matter who blooms the fastest. What does matter is that you keep blooming. And wasn't that cute? A Tale of Two Late Bloomers. We all grow and we all learn at our own pace. But we're going to learn. And we're going to bloom. And until I see you again, keep reading.